Doodles and other designer dogs, aka the intentional crossing of two or more breeds, have surged in popularity, and while they can be adorable, their rise comes with some serious consequences. The impact of this doodledemic is far more significant than you might think. In this video, I'll uncover the hidden problems behind the trend and why it's important to consider other options. Let's dig in. Working for the Royal Guide Dog Association of Australia, Conran aimed to create a guide dog with a poodle's hypoallergenic coat and a Labrador's working ability for a client whose husband had allergies. Conran expressed his regrets over starting the trend, citing the unethical breeding practices it spawned. According to Conran, the majority of Labradoodles are either crazy or have a hereditary problem, with healthy examples being few and far between. He said his big regret is that his invention paved the way for unethical, ruthless people to breed the dogs without thinking of the health of their offspring. Health problems, including severe hip dysplasia, neurological conditions, and cancers, are common due to inadequate health testing paired with indiscriminate breeding. These conditions often have compounded probability depending on their source breeds. Problems like anxiety, reactivity, hyperactivity, and aggression are regularly observed in these dogs since they all have genetic factors. Things like reactivity can stem from lack of early socialization and exposure. In order to keep profit margins maximized, these breeders put in as little effort as possible. That means no health testing, temperament testing, titling, socialization, or other basic matters. The miniaturization of these dogs often leads to health problems. Combining contrasting structures by crossing breeds with extreme size differences risks debilitating conditions. It's important to know there are no breeds that come in a teacup size. It's merely a backyard breeder marketing term. Many doodles come from puppy mills where dogs endure inhumane conditions. Purchasing supports an industry that treats dogs as commodities and neglects proper care and socialization. Even if you don't purchase directly from the mill, you're buying from a breeder that very likely purchased their breeding dogs from similar situations. While there are some registry organizations that recognize or even exclusively register doodles as a breed, so few breeders use them they're practically pointless. This leads to the likelihood of large scale inbreeding due to the sheer volume of backyard breeders and puppy mills. This also prevents insight into a dog's family history for health concerns, making it harder to identify genetic issues and tie them to a specific source. Breeders charge exorbitant prices for doodles, exploiting their popularity. More often than not, you can get a well bred purebred from an ethical breeder for the same price or less. Unlike designer dogs, well bred purebreds come with health guarantees, contracts, health tested parents, and the predictability of traits outlined in their breed standard. This makes the choice of a well bred purebred by far the better deal. These unethically inflated prices are especially common when citing supposedly rare colors. Breeding solely for aesthetics can result in genetic health concerns since many fad or uncommon colors are linked to health conditions. It's also dishonest to label some colors as rare when they're not standard for any of the breeds involved in the mix. For example, a Merle Bernedoodle is misleading due to the fact that neither poodles or Bernese Mountain Dogs carry the Merle gene. Breeders of designer dogs charge more for specific mixes than others due to their perceived popularity. They charge more based on market trends rather than the cost of care or quality of breeding. This practice can also apply to things like sex or size variations of the dog. Breeders will often charge more for females over males and then charge an additional fee for breeding rights. Breeders also often hike the price of smaller sized crosses due to the perceived demand, such as the mini golden doodle. Marketing hybrid vigor as a selling point is misleading and unfounded. Breeders claim the dogs they produce are inherently healthier and less inbred than purebreds. In reality, dogs from unknown backgrounds and untested parents are more likely to have health issues than well bred purebreds. The lack of a central registry means the dogs are more likely to be inbred compared to well bred dogs. The sheer volume of breeders, along with the inability to track pedigrees, means there's no sure way to find out which dogs may be related. Some represent these dogs as purebred in order to upsell. Even if the breeder claims these dogs are registered, that doesn't imply they are purebred. Many kennel clubs will register mixed breeds under separate programs in order to keep track of titles, such as Canine Partners in the AKC. Registries that recognize these dogs as purebred are simply scams that only require an entry fee and a few pictures to register a dog. Breeding a doodle to another doodle does not create a purebred doodle, it's simply a new recombination of genes from the contributing breeds. Breeders are attempting to market their dogs as low maintenance, informing buyers the dogs don't need grooming until they're adults. This leaves dogs being exposed much later in life than necessary to grooming practices well past the critical socialization period. This leads to anxiety, stress, and a horrible experience for both the dog and groomer. This has caused many salons refusing to accept any new doodle clientele. Not only that, but waiting so long to do a proper groom on a dog leads to painful matting, which can cause skin conditions, infections, and even necrosis. These mixes lack the predictability seen in well bred dogs. Crossing breeds introduces too many variables to reliably predict traits like size, coat type, energy, temperament, or trainability. Even littermates can inherit widely varying traits from different combinations of breed genes. Despite multiple generations, such as F1, F2, and F3, doodles still exhibit a broad range of variability. This is especially true for double doodles or the breeding of two different doodle mixes. Doodles and other designer dogs have been around for some time now. Despite this, there has been no effort to establish a breed standard as a goal for achieving purebred status. Even within kennel clubs that recognize these dogs, there seems to be no desire to do so. This lack of a standard perpetuates the unpredictability of their traits, making it difficult to know what to expect throughout the dog's life. Because of dishonest sales tactics and unethical breeders, many doodles end up in shelters. The breeders and mills, having made their profit, show no concern for the ultimate fate of these dogs. This creates an increasing number of designer dogs in need of homes. The breeders add to this problem by continuing to breed while refusing to take back their puppies, as well as dumping their breeding dogs when they're no longer profitable. By adopting these dogs instead of purchasing, you save thousands of dollars and avoid supporting the reason they end up in this very situation. There is no increased risk of health or behavioral issues in adopting versus purchasing these dogs, as they all come from the same quality of sources. There may even be doodle specific rescues in your area, and you can also check local social media groups or word of mouth for rehoming situations. The Labrador Retriever Club opposes crossbreeding Labradors, including Labradoodles, noting that purebreds offer predictability in size, shape, coat, temperament, and health. Labradoodles, in contrast, are genetic gambles with inconsistent traits, offering no advantages over a purebred. The Poodle Club of America warns against designer dogs, which are marketed with misleading claims of ideal traits. These dogs are often bred without health testing, leading to potential health conditions. They also cite the unpredictability of traits in poodle mixes versus the stability provided by purebred poodles. While doodles and other mixes may seem appealing due to their marketing, the breeding practices behind them certainly raise ethical concerns. Because their purchase supports puppy mills or backyard breeders, I strongly urge you to either consider a well bred purebred alternative or an adoptable dog. The only ethical way to get a doodle or other designer mix is by adopting or getting one through rehoming. Until next time, stay curious and keep digging.